Hello, everyone. My name is Susana Martin, and I am digital consultant at Macmillan Education. In this webinar, I'm going to show you the new enhanced platform for the new Tiger and new High5 digital materials and explain the difference with the Navio Tap and Teach that some of you were using last year. So let's access. Let's start opening macmillaneducationeverywhere.com, which is our main access point for all our digital products. We also refer to this website as Me Portal. For those of you that were using it last year, you might see it a little bit different. That is because we have been doing some work during the summer, improving the registration process and the navigation. So now it is easier to use. In this first screen, you will see two options, register or login. If you are already a Macmillan user from last year and have your username and password, you don't need to register again. Simply click on login and enter your username and password here or here. If you don't remember your access details, you can always recover them using these links, forgot my username or forgot my password. For those of you that are new users, you will then need to register and create an account first. To do so, click on register and follow the steps to create an account. It is a very simple process in which you will need to enter your personal details and choose your username and password. Okay, so now that we all have a username and password, we can log in on the platform. I want to show you what you're going to see depending on if you are a new user or an existing one. Okay, new users will see this page empty. So there will be no books in your library. Existing users will see this access to their previous license, the license from last year, either new High5 or new Tiger. This is because our teacher licenses have a duration of 24 months. So the license that you started using last year has not expired yet, and you will have another 12 months. You don't need this access to teach this year, but we have left it should you want to access the progress tracker or the test, other photocopiable materials from last course, just in case there is a gap among your students. But as I said, this is only for consultation purposes, as all you need to teach will be in your new enhanced license. So this is my profile. I already have the enhanced license activated, but the first time that you access the Me portal, you will need to activate your code here. So just click here and activate the code and copy and paste the access code that you have received via email. If you don't have your license yet, please contact your representative so that they can provide you with one. So now that you have activated your code, you will see the license for the enhanced version here. So this will be this is the license from the last course, and this is the license that you will need this year. Those of you that are new users, as we said, you will only see this enhanced logo, right? So to access the content, we just need to click on the title. And here you will see different tabs. In the main one, Macmillan Education Apps, you will see this Macmillan Education Teacher App, which is the access to the platform from where we will be accessing the digital versions of the pupils book and the activity book. We will see it in a bit. And in the other tabs, we will see the extra resources linked to each level. So in my case, I only have one level activated, but if you are teaching more than one, you will see here different tabs, one for each level. When we access this, we see the extra resources. As a teacher, you will have access to a test generator, which is an interactive tool to create tests. There are some pre-created tests, or you can create your own ones. You also have access to the Teacher Resource Center, which is one of the things that we have improved this year. Here you will find tests and worksheets and other photocopiable materials. And with this new navigation, you will be able to open, for example, one of the worksheets and then move very quickly through the test without the need to go back and click in lots of links to go back to the main page. You can navigate through all the content just using this menu. Right, let's go back and see the other extra material that you have here is the Navio app. So this is the material that pupils get when they buy the print book. This is the Pupils app on Navio. For those of you that are new users, I would like to explain you that this is a gamified component in which the pupils navigate through a 3D world with an avatar, and they make the interactive activities, and they're getting points that they can use to customize their avatars. So this Navio app only gives you access to the pupils material. You don't need this app to teach, but it is available for you should you want to have a look to the pupils material, or if you want to use it in the classroom. Your teaching materials this year are here in the Macmillan Education Teacher App. So let's click on view. And here we can see the first change compared with last year, which is that we have an online version. You can download the app to access offline, but now we can also access online using the web browser. Let's click on view to open the content. Okay, let me go to the main page first. Here. Before accessing the content, I want to focus on this side menu, where you can navigate through the different levels and components, and you also have some links available. Those ones, the Teacher Resource Center and the Test Generator, are the same ones that we have just seen in the Me portal. Remember the access to these components that you have here in the level tab. You have access to the Teacher Resource Center and the Test Generator. So this is the same that we have here. So you can choose where to access those resources. It is just easier for you. You can choose from where you want to access this material. We also have the option to create classes, which I like to explain very briefly. Okay, the first time that you access this option, of course, it will be empty. You will not have any classes. I have a few of them created in my testing profile, but the first time you access, you will need to create a class by clicking here in add a class. You need to put a name and select the title that the pupils will have access to. In this case, it's New High 5 Enhanced Level 3. We click on next. And then you will see 4 different options to add your students to the class. The first one is to add the students manually. Just type in the names and the emails of your students one by one. The second one, you can create an Excel document with 3 columns, including the name, the surname, and the email, and save this document as a CSV file, and then upload it to the platform so that you can create automatically all your students. The third option is get students to add themselves, so you can share a class code for your students to join the class. And the fourth option is copy students over from an existing class. As you all are new enhanced users, you still don't have any classes created on this environment, so you cannot copy pupils from an existing one, right? Okay, those of you that are new, you still don't have any classes. And those of you that were teaching with New Tiger or New High 5 last year, the classes created are in another environment, so you cannot copy those classes to this new enhanced platform. But this option will be very useful for next year, so because you will be available to copy pupils from one class to the other. So for example, students moving from grade 3 to 4, you will simply copy them from one class to the other. You will not need to upload them or to add them again. Okay, for me, the easiest way is this one, to create your class and then set the class code with your students for them to join. If you click here, you will see the code, and this is the code that you need to share with your students. But we are providing different options so that you can choose the one that suits you better. What I wanted to highlight regarding the class creation, because it is very, very important, is that if you want to track your student progress, you need to create the class and add the students from the first day of term. If not, the activities that they make will not be saved in the progress tracker. So I mean, for example, if your students start today making activities, but you don't create the class and you don't add your students until, for example, mid-November, everything they have done until then will not be saved. So it is very important to create the class and add your students from the very beginning. I also want to focus on the progress tracker, which is here in the main menu. Those of you using New Tiger or New High 5 last year might be familiar with this tool. Okay, so to access the progress tracker, we need to first access the class and then select the option of the progress tracker. I think it is a very useful tool to track your students' progress, and because you will be able to see the results of the first and the last attempt, the time that they have spent in each activity. So it allows you to see at a glance the performance of your class and identify problems very quickly. So the first time you access, you need to choose the component that your students are using, for example, the digital activity book. And here you will see the complete list of your students. So in my case, I only have one student in this class, but you will see your 20 or 30 students added to the class, and you will see the list here. So these icons will tell you the status of the units and the work that the students are doing in the book. So for example, if all your class has already reached unit 3, they will all have these 3 circles green. But if one of your students is still in unit 1, is still, as this one is still completing unit 1, then we can see that there is a problem and we can investigate further. Or if, for example, if you access your students to see their activities one by one, and you see that they all are failing in the same activity, that could mean that there is a gap or that something needs to be clarified with all of them. So I think it's a very powerful feature that will give you an idea of how your students are progressing and ensure that no one is left behind, which is always very important, but even more this year, no? That we might need to teach online quite often. So all the activities, most of the activities that they have in the Pupils app or in the digital material, they will be able to check the results as they are doing the activities, but some of them are open answer activities and you will need to score and correct them. For those activities, you will see here these notifications tabs. You will see a mark here, and then you can access and see the activities that you have pending to score so that you can correct them manually. Okay, let's go back to the main menu and let's access the content to see the enhanced platform and their main features. So I click on the level. I only have one level added, but if you are teaching more than one, you will see here the different levels you have access to. So we click on the title, then we choose the component that we want to work with. We open the unit and the lesson. And now you will see the other big change with respect to the last year, which is that the enhanced version has the page faithful view available. Last year, those of you using the Navio Tap and Teach would remember that the navigation was based on a carousel where you had the different activities or resources that were part of the lesson, but there was not a page faithful view. Though there was a page faithful view, but it was only for reference. You cannot navigate or open the activities from the page view. And the feedback that we received was that it was quite difficult for the pupils to follow the lesson, as what they saw in the IWB was different from what they had in their print books. So now this way, with the enhanced platform, you have the view of the page and it will be easier for everyone, especially if you are teaching online. So before opening the activities and show you the main features, I want to go to this side menu where you will find the tools for the digital book. So we have a pen to draw in the image, the book. We have a text tool that will allow you to add some text and choose the text color and the background and the size of the text. We have a highlighter to highlight any text you want. We also have a notes tool. You can use the note tool by selecting one of the text and you will see this icon appearing. You click on the icon and then you can write whatever you want. You can write a simple text or you can add a website that you want to access later. You can choose the color of your note and then click on save. Once saved, you can see that the text is highlighted with the color, and every time you go over that text, you will see the note. You can edit anytime you want the note. And you can also access the notes that you have created by using this icon in the top bar. Here you have all the notes that we have created so far. And the last icon, this one, is just to highlight or identify the hotspot or the areas in where we can zoom in, right? To open the activities, it is very simple. We just need to click on the icons that are here next to the rubric. You can open the activity here and we can go full screen by clicking on this icon. And of course, as a teacher, you can show the answers and you can choose to show them one by one or all at once. There's also some extra features that I want to show you in this webinar and are those ones that are in the top bar menu. As I mentioned earlier, with the Tap and Teach last year, you navigated through a carousel where you had all the resources available for a lesson. It not only includes the activities from the pupil's book or the activity book, but also some extra activities coming from the teacher's guide, such as opening or closing routines, extra vocabulary reviews. So those extra activities are also included in the enhanced version through this lesson extras icon. So beside the interactive activities that you have here in the page, you can also have access to this extra material here. You can find the aims of the lessons, some extra practice, the review. So you can choose whether you want to use them or not, but they are available here in this lesson extras menu. The next icon is the quick links. Through this feature, you can quickly move between different sections of the book or through the different components. So for example, we are now in Unit 1, Lesson 1 vocabulary, and it is very easy to move through this to the same section of the activity book. So we can go to the Unit 1, Lesson 1, just clicking here on this link, Lesson 1 vocabulary, and it takes us to the activity book. As you will see, we also have here the page faithful view with the icons to open the activities. And if we want to go back to the pupil's book, it's as simple as to open the quick links again and go back to the pupil's book. The last icon is the reward feature. When pupils make activities in the Pupils app, as we mentioned earlier, they get points and they can use these points to customize their avatar. But they are not getting points only in the Pupils app. You as a teachers can also reward your pupils for good behavior, for example. So this is something that we had in the Navio Tap and Teach, and it is available also in the enhanced platform. So let's have a look. I'm going to show you from the very beginning. Yes, I want to start again, please. Okay, so the first step will be to choose the students that are in the class today or remove any students who are not in the class. So if, for example, this student is not today with us, she is not going to participate, so I can remove them and just work with the students that are in the class. Click on next. And this is a feature that we had also in the Navio Tap and Teach, but in the Navio Tap and Teach, we could only create up to 4 teams. Now we have increased this number in the enhanced platform, so you have 6 teams available. If you want to create groups and work cooperative or collaboratively, then you can create the groups here. If you don't create any groups, then just leave one selected, and then all your students will be part of the same group or team. For this webinar, I'm going to create 3 teams. Let's click on apply. You will see that the platform creates the teams automatically, but I can choose and I can move students and mix the groups. So for example, I want this student to go to the team 1 and this one to the team 2. And once I'm happy with my teams, I can click on next, and I am ready to reward my students. I can select student individually to give her points, or I can select a team and give them points, or I can select all my students and give them points or remove points. And once I have finished, I can click on save and close. Something important that I wanted to highlight is that the teams that we have created will remain the same during the lesson, during an hour, I think. So every time you open this reward tool, your teams will already be created so that you don't need to create them again and again. We will be improving this functionality of this tool, and we will send you communications as soon as we have more functionalities and features added to this rewards tool. Okay, so that was the offer available for teachers and the new features and the main difference with regards to the Navio Tap and Teach. And I also want to add a reminder and explain what is available for students. The digital offer for pupils will of course depend on if they use digital licenses or textbooks. Those using textbooks will have access an access code print on the book cover, which will give them access to the Pupils app on Navio. To use the Pupils app, they need to download Navio and install it in their computers. Pupils using digital licenses will have access to the Pupils app and also the digital versions of the Pupils book and or the activity book. They will be able to access online from Macmillan Education Everywhere to the digital Pupils book and the digital activity book, just as we have done in this session. And they will have the same experience. They will also see the page faithful view, but of course they will not have access to the answers or to the teacher material. And for both cases, the activities they make in the digital material will be saved in the progress tracker for your review, as long as you have previously created the class. Okay, I now would like to go through the frequently asked questions and common doubts that you as users might have with the new enhanced platform. So let's review some questions. I used Navio Tap and Teach last year, but this course I'm using the enhanced platform. Do I need to install both apps? Okay, this is a very common question. And the answer is no, you don't need to install both apps, as all your teaching materials this year will be in the enhanced platform, in the Macmillan Education Teacher App. So you don't need to install Navio unless you want to access the Pupils app. And in fact, as you can access the enhanced content via web browser, you will find that maybe you don't need to install any apps because you can access online to the Macmillan Education Teacher App. And if you don't want to use Navio in the classroom, there's no need to install Navio for you. Okay, another question. Can I still use the same credentials from last year? Yes, you can use the existing username and password as we have seen in this webinar. If you already have your credentials, you don't need to register again. Next question, can I use Navio Tap and Teach in some levels and the enhanced platform in other levels? Yes, this is something that we have received, and this is a common question as well. You might want to use the enhanced platform for levels 1 to 4 so that the little ones can see the page faithful view and it is easier for them. and use Navio Tap and Teach in levels 5 and 6, for example. So yeah, you can mix. I have opened Navio and the Tap and Teach is not available anymore. Why? So this is a common question among users from last year that used to access New Tiger or New High 5 using the Navio and the Tap and Teach component. So this year, as we have seen at the very beginning, you still have your license active from last year, so you have the access to Navio, but you have also added a new access code. You have the enhanced version available. So in those cases, the Tap and Teach is not available anymore because all your teaching materials are the enhanced platform in Macmillan Education Teacher App. So that's why you have opened Navio and you don't see the Tap and Teach. When you have the enhanced license, Navio only contains access to the Pupils app. Where can I find video tutorials and user guides? That's a good question because user guides and video tutorials are available in Macmillan Advantage, which is our exclusive website for teachers, and there you will find resources, training, and much more. Let me show you very quickly. Here we have, because in terms of digital, we have a tab called My Digital Access, in where you will find the user guides and video tutorials for you to check doubts that you might have. It's tutorials in Spanish and in English. And you will also have information to share among your families. If you still don't have access to Advantage, please contact your sales representative so that they can provide you with an access. And before finishing, I would like to remind you, let me open this. I would like to remind you that we have a help desk available for you to solve any problems or doubts that you may have with our digital materials, and you can contact them via email at help@macmillan.es. And this is the schedule that they have, Monday to Thursday from 8 till 5:30 Spain time, and then Fridays 8 till 2 Spain time. So I hope this webinar has been useful and you're now more confident using your enhanced platform. Thank you very much for your attendance. See you soon. Bye.